Hello, back for more Alien Stage, probably the last Alien Stage video I do reacting to content that is already out. Please ignore the baby crying in the background. They just go at it and they don't stop. It's a nightmare. Also ignore the trim. It was a lot longer the last time you watched an Alien Stage video, and now it's just all gone, and the barber kind of fucked my shit up, but it's whatever. Let's talk about Alien Stage. Probably the last video I do of stuff that's already out. Today we're gonna just look at these character profile translations. We're gonna look at the actor AU. We're gonna look at the free comics. One of them I have read, but I'm gonna read it anyway. The free comics that came after the final one, and we are doing the Q&A. There's a lot of Q&A, so I'm just gonna kind of go through it and maybe just show the highlights, or maybe not do it all. I don't know. I'll see. But either way, that is all we're doing today. That is all we're going to be doing. Any other content, like I've seen like some of the behind the scenes stuff. There's other official art. There's like the official website. I've seen like some of those, and that stuff I'm not going to be reacting to. There's just not much I can really kind of talk about when it comes to that. But yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, this is. I'm just going to start with the profiles, and I'll probably do the actor AU afterwards. Obviously, this isn't going to be. Well, hopefully, this isn't going to be the last Alien Stage video ever. Assuming we're getting new stuff at some point. Especially if it's the typical music videos that they usually do, I will definitely react to those. Definitely, for sure. But yeah, let's just look at these profiles. Just kind of re-up myself a bit on the characters and just some of their personality quirks and all that kind of stuff. Mizzy, 22. I wasn't really aware of how old the characters were when I first watched it, but it does make sense that I assume they're all in their 20s, early 20s maybe. Could have easily been teenagers, but the difference doesn't really make much difference. Her birthday's only in like a week from now. Like sewer, artificial unacted flowers, and toothbrush. Sure. Dislikes vegetables and studying. Makes sense. Talent, horror stories. Yeah, I can definitely see that. She's got a cute signature with the star as well. Sewer. Her birthday's 6 days before mine. Age 23. Is she a bit taller than... Yeah. No, yeah. I thought Mizzy was taller, yeah. Likes Mizzy, singing and stars. Dislikes strangers. Talent, fast mental arithmetic. I like how neat her signature is. Till 21, the youngest so far, yeah. 178 centimeters, about a little bit shorter than me. 71 kg, we're pretty similar body and weight, me and Till. Likes Mizzy, composing, doodling, makes sense. Dislikes everyone, makes sense, including Guardian Urak, of course. Talent, floral art. That's a cool signature. That's a very cool signature. Even a little bit older than Till. Taller as well. Like 6'1" is that, I think. A bit less. Likes classic literature. Dislikes ignorance and rudeness. Talent, sparking flames from stones. Sure. And another cool signature there. And the last two. Luca. He's 30, okay. A lot older than the rest of them. I guess that makes sense given he was in the 49th rather than the 50th. His birthday's also a day after Sewer's and 5 days before mine. Interesting. Unless that is I'm looking at that as if that is the. Wait, I think I've read these wrong. Oh wait, no, that is months. Yeah, I originally thought it might be the year, but no, yeah, that's like the 22nd to the 12th. Yeah, that makes sense. A little bit shorter than the other lads, and lighter. Likes unknown, dislikes unknown. Talent, the splits, sure. And then Huna, yeah, 27, a bit older as well. She's tall. She's about the same. She is the same height as me. Same weight as well. I have the exact same measurements as Yuna. Likes cigarettes, alcohol, makes sense. Dislikes unknown. Talent, vocal, mimicry, interesting. And a pretty run-of-the-mill signature. I like these little profiles. They're cool. I wonder if they show them like before their performances or like on the website or that kind of thing of the in-universe Alien Stage stuff. Next I think let's get on to the important stuff. Actually no, we'll do the actor AU next because that's only 3 little things, so we'll do that now. For the actor AU we have Off the Record 1, Off the Record 2 and Cheers. I'm pretty sure that's the only 3 that are related to the actor AU. Youngest and latest debut of Alien Stage, off stage he's actually gentle and pure. Despite his acting concluding after his child role, he remains in the filming of Alien Stage, part of the film Lightning Crew. Turns about slow and dense. Oh, that's cute. It's cute he's still alive as well. Depends on impartial going. Give you hard work today, reading. Well, the actors, Mizzy's shy. Cast for the lead role, extremely nervous. There's a cute dynamic. Even and Luca are actors from the same agency. They were once in an idol unit together. Luca despises every second of it. Mizzy's child actor, that's cute. Luca, who's the closest to Ivan, being forced to deal with responsibility of childcare. Ivan is naturally good with kids and wants to take care of them. Till's child actor, that's cute. And you say the youngest character, Till, is actually the oldest and made his debut in a diaper commercial before he could even speak. Till's actor only thinks about going straight home after filming ends. His dark circles are not from makeup but from exhaustion. Makes sense. People really want to approach the mysterious singer. Oh, this is cute. Just the 4 pages of this one. Yeah, the next one. I love the little highlights of Mizzy's hair at the end. Okay, Off the Record 2. What am I living? This is an excuse on one take. I never want to catch on cold, wasn't it? I was assuming it's a kissing scene, and Ivan is just he's just gonna keep doing it. Oh, it's as if. Oh, I get it. Oh, yeah, it is the scene from the thing. But he's. I'm trying to go see you. What do I do now? It's funny seeing Till kind of act completely like very professional and natural like this. Like he's just given Ivan just straight up professional advice rather than taking what he was doing personally or being flustered about it. Yeah. I love the art style, like the rough art style. It's really cool. It suits Ivan, his hair as well. And you have Cheers, which is I think it's the last one of the Outdoor AU anyway. Don't forget what the company dinner, right? Yes, tends to forget things. Depending on people first, yeah, I feel that. Excluding Oh, Mizzy has a short hair now. Tolerance, 3 bottles, tolerance unmeasurable, that makes sense. 2 shots for Sewer, yeah. 6 bottles of Mizzy, I see that. 5.5 for Huna, yeah. Half a bottle for Luca. Yeah, I see that, that's good. Mizzy having good high tolerance makes sense to me. Sewer having like no tolerance whatsoever definitely makes sense. Luca is just completely out of it. Yeah, she's opening up a bit now. Mizzy can't believe it. Whoa, Luca. The expressions are so funny. Oh, that's cute. I think that's it, yeah. Yeah, it is. That's cool. It's a fun little thing that I didn't realise at first that it's literally them, as if they were actors in. If the whole alien stage was like a shoot thing. That reminds me of something that it did the same as that. Oh no, it's just you get a lot of fan art of like dramatic stories and characters acting as if it's all just like an act. Like I've seen some for Having My Go and stuff like that. It's a cool concept. It's cool to see this officially being. Okay, so this is The Witcher's decision. This I've read this one, but I kind of read it. I didn't really read it properly and give it my full attention, off camera that was. So now I'll read it properly. If I remember correctly, it's about kind of the plan a bit more. It fleshes out the rebellion's plan a little, and yeah. I love that description from Izzy as well. Calmly swimming through a storm. Yeah, and that's kind of Mizzy's whole thing, is that she feels like these sacrifices aren't worth what they're doing, and she feels she should have acted sooner. She kind of regrets that now that she carries that trauma with her completely now, and always has. she probably felt a little obliged to go along with Huna's plan, given Huna saved her, possibly. Or the rebellion's plan in general. Yeah, it reminds me a bit of Andor with Luthen. Luthen was quite ruthless in instilling the rebellion in the galaxy and ensuring that, basically doing the right things for the rebellion, for them to prosper in the long term, but it means that people do have to die, people close to him, people close to who he's working with. These are sacrifices that are necessary for it to prosper in the end. And Mizzy's completely justified here with these complaints. But Huna's also right as well. Yeah, Missy probably doesn't really realise how much Huna is going through as well. Not just the fact that she's lost her like friends in the rebellion, all that, just with her brother as well, but she's grappling with her own emotions towards Luca. Luca's whole involvement in Alien Stage and his like compliance in all of that, and him having this role, this like high position in the whole thing, and Huna having to come to terms with her just confusing, conflicting emotions towards him. Mizzy has no idea of any of that. So this is where I was like a bit about the plan, because obviously it seems they're sending this record of just what's going on into space, and I don't know, I wasn't too sure on it. I feel like that could have maybe been done without all these sacrifices. We don't really know enough about the world and about how restricted they are, the environment, and how hard it is to get things out into space. And even more so, we don't know what the other planets are like, what their relationships are like with the alien planets, whether there's more aliens and more humans, or whether they might already know about this and they're just not doing anything. I mean, you can compare it to our world, where countries or whichever countries commit atrocities and just won't lift a finger. They'll possibly even support it. That's the thing, we have no idea what is going on outside of just this planet, that it is hard to say whether this plan would have made an impact or not. But it's certainly a good idea just to get information out there, and whether, from their perspective, they're always going to think that people aren't going to be aware of what's going on here. So what can we do? Make people aware, spread information, make sure that people know about this. Whether they'll take action right away, I don't know, but once people learn about it, it will cause issues, it will cause problems, like interrelationships, like relationships between politicians and space and all that political stuff, that it would shake things up, assuming that they don't know about it. That's the assumption. Yeah, and Suwa is thinking, no, Mizzy is thinking selfishly, but like rightfully so, you know, like you really can't knock her for thinking this way, given what she's gone through and what she has to hold back at this point. Again, it reminds me a bit of Attack on Titan as well, with Irvin and his whole deal, stacking the corpses to get to a place that we don't even know will solve things. Similar as well, Jujutsu Kaisen, they have the whole thing, they don't mourn the dead. Like, that's kind of a big thing in it. They just have to keep moving forward and keep fighting for them. That's how they mourn them. Hmm. Ah, it's really good stuff. It's a really good comic. And that's kind of Mizzy's whole distorted view of love, is that she can't see it in such a pure way. She only sees the sacrifices, the bloodshed, the gruesomeness of it. Given how she grew up, it's natural for her to have such a distorted view of love. It's such an interesting conflict of perspectives for these two to have. It really does flesh out a lot of the rebellion side and Mizzy and Huna's relationship that we didn't get an awful lot of in the main story. It's just nice that they'll fight, but never to a point of no return. They always choose to hear each other out. Yeah. Burning, screaming, warning. And she chose revenge in the end. But that's how her love has been raised, and you can see it there, the black, tainted, shattered hearts of all these people that she cares about so much. Ah, it's heavy, man. I love that. Even after seeing all kinds of love, she still chose to stay human. And then she disappears. Yeah, now she's become the enemy that even to humans would look like the enemy as well. I remember this bit of confirming, obviously Till being alive, but Till, like we saw in the end, but he can no longer sing as well. Yeah, really good comic. I do remember it better now, like this end bit and the start. But the middle bit, that whole conflict between Huna and Mizzy and their differing perspectives on love and how it affects just how they view things around them, how they view the entire rebellion that they're carrying out. It's completely different. Man, it's really good stuff. I'm sure there's a lot of people who aren't really aware of the comics and just watch the music videos, and I'm sure they're great on their own, but what the comics adds is just really, it cannot be understated just how important the comics are to the story and the characters. Now we have 2 new ones to get to, so let's get on to the first one of those. Okay, now we have Scars. Ivan. I assume that's Ivan, and this is Till. Or is that Mizzy? I can't tell. No, it's just black here. Popcorn, yeah, I thought so. Makes sense. And the black. Oh, I guess this is Till waking up for the first time, maybe. Yeah. I assume this isn't real. Unless this is real and it is just a flashback. People seem to rescue me, observe my body aloud, but I couldn't even... Yeah, so it isn't real, yeah, okay. This is after the end. Huh. Interesting. And he can't say no. Oh god, man. I'm sorry, but this line, "Why want me to hit you with a curse word too," it instantly reminds me of Geto and Gojo in at the end of JJK Zero. It instantly reminded me of that. Why didn't you tell me before you hurt your neck? So I wonder if his scars are literally him scratching away at him, at Ivan. Wow, I didn't realise Ivan was like haunting him like this. I didn't realise the trauma would be that bad. I mean, I mentioned that Ivan's actions and his final actions towards Till wouldn't leave a positive effect on Till, but I didn't know it was to this extent. To see it visualised like this is quite something. I can imagine. Wow. Huh. I love the way Ivan's drawn throughout, just with the focus on the red eyes. Like, wow. That's interesting, man. I feel like Till's emotions towards Ivan are so complicated. I wouldn't even be able to think to try and explain them right now or talk about them right now. I'd have to let it kind of digest and sit a bit. But we've got another comic, so let's just move on to that and see how that, whether it changes things or anything. I just forgot to mention, but in the last one where it about like Till not being able to speak, obviously he still lost his voice, but it does remind me of what went down on stage between him and Ivan, where Ivan just like forced himself and forced that kiss onto him. It does feel like Ivan didn't even let Till make a choice in the end, and that's followed him on into the afterlife almost, given that he should be dead to an extent. But that's interesting. Now we're getting more fucking Ivan Till, continuation of this. He later ride a bike. Obviously we see him riding the bike at the end of Karma. I think it's Karma. It's Karma or Weege. One of them is the last one. I'm not sure. Most nice dude ever. And Ivan's still there. Yeah. Wow. I think it's interesting how Mizzy hasn't really shown up yet for him. Whoa. What's this? Okay, so yeah, got caught up in something. Fucking hell, man. For the first time in my life, I voiced a complaint. Fucking hell. God, I wonder how he's going to respond to his first ever complaint. Fuck. Fucking hell, man. Oh wow. And a little bit of pink. Fucking hell, man. Till just coming to terms with like just this entire thing and how it fucked them up. It fucked everyone up. And how it's not even the fault of the individuals and themselves. It's just an unfortunate case of the environment they're in and melded them in this way to an extent. Ivan haunting him, obviously, after he died. But finally, he's able to make a complaint for the first time in his life after Ivan's been harassing him in the afterlife. And all of a sudden he just kind of realises, when Ivan replies, well, what about me? Like, you've seen me as this burden the whole time I've been around you. And it was the same back when they were alive. And for sure, let's not act like Ivan was some saint or was really had an entirely positive effect on Till. The way he kind of acted with him, but and all that, but it is just a repeat of what happened while they were alive, except this time Till recognises Ivan's feelings, recognises his own feelings, like confronts them for the first time, and he's able to actually say goodbye to Ivan almost and move on to a better place. It just sucks because it wasn't something that he or Ivan could grapple with or communicate with when they were alive, and that's just the way it is sometimes, for sure. And it's also, like I said, a result of their environment. They don't have the privilege to be able to talk these kind of things out and understand them properly. They don't have the education to do that kind of thing. They don't have the upbringing that allows them to unpack their emotions in a healthy way. But Till now, after all this time, finally able to just move on from it, and now he's looking towards Mizzy. What can he do for her? And he knows exactly what she needs. She doesn't need to be condemned or shunned or anything like that, punished, as I'm sure she feels that she needs. Till just wants to extend an arm to her and just be by her side, whether Mizzy wants it or not as well. That's the kind of thing with Ivan and Till, is that Ivan's been there the whole time for Till, and Till was been trying to reject it and wanting to reject it and not wanting his presence there. We see it in the way Ivan's drawn in that first comic, especially the way Till would scratch at his neck where Ivan was to sort of just get rid of him. But he's not going to repeat that mistake this time with Mizzy. Oh man. Fuck. I really do love Till. I love Ivan and Till. I love the dynamic. I love what Till represents in this series now. And this comic really does back up the whole point of that final scene in the finale. And Till being the one to come out of this with an undistorted perspective of love and family and what it means to care for one another. And because he's been through it all. He's been through it in life and death. He has that trauma that everyone else has. He knows what it means to live being burdened by the dead, like Mizzy does. And he needs to confide within Mizzy, and Mizzy needs to do the same with Till. They're in a similar spot right now, Mizzy and Till even. But Till has worked his way through these emotions. Obviously, at this point, we don't really know what Mizzy is feeling emotionally. Based on the way she was drawn there, the way she was shown there, it's not. I feel like she's not in a good place at all. I feel like that's pretty clear. But Till is. And Till can be the one to really end this whole thing, to save the person he always cared about the most. And I do like how he clarified those emotions he had were like childish, like childhood kind of obsession emotions towards Mizzy. And the whole time Ivan was there by his side, but he wouldn't turn his way. Even though he would be drawing him and be sketching him and thinking about him, but there's no way he'd be able to show that in front of Ivan. Of course not at that age. At any age, it's embarrassing. Especially given the way Ivan treats Till, he would be embarrassed to return those feelings in any way that isn't lashing out or an emotional frustration. Fuck man, these were really good. I'm glad I did do these on camera, because they were just as important as the music videos, and especially for setting up for future and setting up for what Alien Stage could be going forward. Really, really good stuff, man. Okay, I'm gonna go through the Q&A now. Like I said, I'm probably just gonna zip through it, comment on stuff that I think is interesting. I doubt I will show you the whole thing because it'll be boring. I'll just show you where I comment on and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'll see you for that bit now. It's good that Till has some sort of creative outlet still as well with the drawing while he's unable to compose music, unable to sing. It's good he does have that creative outlet. It's very much like Till. Even really prioritizes his happiness, so even though he's afraid, he's also happy. That's cool. The kind of perspective Ivan had on life. I like this answer. What does Luca like about Huna? Sometimes you just can't explain it. It's just how it is. It's nice to know that we will be getting more, definitely, and how Luca will be integrated into it, given he's still there, still able to compete. Yeah, I agree. Ivan Mermaid, Till Pirate. That's interesting clarification on Till as well, and how he's learnt being with these children. He wants to give them an upbringing that he didn't get, and he wants to share that. That's interesting. I kind of thought Ivan would be the more chill type, while Till would be more kind of strict and panicky about things. Huh. I saw people upset about Huna dying for Luca, essentially. And I do kind of get that. I mean, you can see the quote tweets, the retweets on that one. I understand it, but I want to see where they go with Luca first before I make assumptions on that whole thing. Because I do understand, like, female characters dying for the sake of a male character. It can be a bit, but I don't want to make assumptions on stuff that isn't going to happen yet. Because the direction it goes with Luca will be important in how meaningful Huna's death will be. Oh yeah, that makes sense with Mizzy and Sewer. I never even thought about the fact that Huna didn't even know that Mizzy fucked up the plans. Huh. I wonder if I wouldn't be surprised if Huna haunts Mizzy in a similar way Till does, Ivan does to Till. Yeah, I can see that about Huna. He just seemed like the most caring out of everyone in the cast. Maybe Till now more so, but for the most time that we've seen them, Huna definitely, I feel like, has the most, even though she's the most kind of like abrasive and often aggressive and excitable, I feel like she can be the most motherly out of all of the cast members. Yeah, I can imagine Luca probably is haunted by Huna in her last words. Oh God, I can only imagine. I hope we do get some perspective on him at some point. Yeah, even a bit of a teacher's pet doesn't surprise me. Definitely does it on purpose. Okay, so Till can sing now, which is good. The cloning makes sense. Okay, it's kind of like what we saw at the end. Whether even if it's less cloning and more like DNA, just keeping that DNA intact rather than an identical clone. That's cute. I can see Till and Huna getting along, personally. It's funny when authors are like, I'm hoping this can happen, or like I'm hoping you can escape it all someday, and it's like, it's your choice. You're able to make these decisions and influence them. But I understand it because it treats these characters as less as a creation and more as real people. That's cool. Inspiration from Junkie. I wanted to be like a nice prince, but burning within. Yeah, I kind of assumed that from when I was watching it. Them only having one heart between them. That's cute. Even Until seemed really like the most popular pairing, maybe. I'm not too sure. I haven't really gauged much. Like I haven't really interacted much with the fandom on Twitter or anything, or seen like who is the most popular and all that. But based on all these questions, most of them are even Until related. Oh wow, a live performance would be so fucking cool. And a season 2 planned as well. Man, I'd fucking love a live performance of Alien Stage, like even like reenacted of it. Even like a stage play of it would be so sick. Huh. That's an interesting answer, yeah. It makes sense that Till kind of not... It's hard because Ivan obviously wasn't really understanding what Till wanted, and when he realises it's gonna fuck him up, and he kind of came a bit corrupted by that, but I feel like it could have gone a lot worse for Ivan having those realizations. Love this answer as well. It's really interesting stuff from the creator. Being able to pour these emotions into a work like this must feel incredible. It must feel crazy. That's just interesting, being the stage that Luca is the only place where he can show his presence and initiative and kind of be himself and almost do what he wanted. Kind of makes the whole thing with Suo and Mizzy a bit more twisted, and that's an interesting facet of Luca though. How off stage he really does not have this control at all, but how the public see him and on stage is a different story. There's some really interesting stuff in that Q&A. I'll definitely have to maybe go through it again another time and take it all in a bit better, but some really cool answers and just insights. An awful lot of even until questions, and a lot of questions related to AUs, and you can tell the fan base is definitely heavy on the shipping side of things, and the fan fiction side of things is cool, and you can see that seep out into the work from the creators themselves as well. They feel like they're just like the fans in that sense, which is cool. But yeah, that is everything for today, and for Alien Stage 4. In terms of content I want to look at on camera for now. Obviously, anything new comes out, proper comics or like full comics or season 2, whenever that may be, we will be there. I will be there. Hopefully, we'll be there as well. Maybe I'll do a tier list video for Alien Stage like I did for Ave Mujiko and My Go stuff at some point. Maybe. I'll see. I'm not sure. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this one. This one feels like a bit of a long one, just me kind of waffling. There isn't really much, I don't know, this video might not be as enjoyable as the other ones, but if you're still watching, I'm really glad. So yeah, thank you guys so much for the support with the Alien Stage videos, especially. I mention it every time, but everyone in the comments, thank you. That person who directed me towards the Q&As, to talking about the Actor AU, about all the different cover songs, and just everyone in the comments just clarifying things and making sure I know where to look next for content. Thank you to Shah, obviously, who has pointed me in the right direction for stuff and is messaging me about it and all that good stuff. Yeah, that's everything. Thank you guys so much for watching the Alien Stage reactions. Hopefully I will see you again soon. And yeah, see you guys later. Bye.